the culture that we were trying to create. My philosophy was simple. I wanted to give every football player the best football experience possible for them to know that we cared about them as a person and just not a football player. The brotherhoods that I have watched form between players and coaches over the years are bonds that will last a lifetime. This came full circle when I had an opportunity to hire Jerry Harbaugh on my staff at Winford. Coach Harbaugh coached me at Crestline and then would later join our staff at Winford. To my parents, I'm thankful for the opportunity to tell them in person just how much you mean to me. You both have sacrificed to give me more than either of you ever had. You are both the most giving people I know. My mother would help anyone with anything, and my father is the most hardworking man I've ever known. I think both of these qualities have helped shape me into the person I am today. They work hard, they care, they love, and they never give up. I can only hope that my boys will grow up and look at me through the eyes that I know I see my parents in. Thank you for giving me the greatest childhood and the best start to adulthood. Without the two of you, I would not be the man, friend, husband, and father I am today. I love you both. To my brother Trevor, neither of us show or tell our emotions very well. So if only you knew the amount of times I've told people that you are hands down the better athlete in the family, I think you would be shocked, because I would never admit that to you. Your athletic ability was beyond impressive to me, so when I got my first coaching job, you weren't on my first staff. He still stands on the sideline on Friday nights to watch our games. The sideline is always a little better when we share it together. My introduction began tonight with you meeting Peyton, Caleb, Tyler, and Camden. It's only fitting that you meet the most important person in all the Moyer boys' lives, their mother and my wife, Erin. To put it simply, we love you. I know our lives can be chaotic and sometimes we're just trying to keep our heads above water, but it's you that reminds us of what really is important in life, and that's our family. You set the example for all of us to follow. Your unconditional love allows our family to flourish. I want you to know how much we love you and that you're the most important person in our lives. Thank you.
On behalf of the Crawford County Sports Hall of Fame, class of 2019, Travis, we present you with this plaque.
Thank you so much.
Before we move on to the next inductee, I had the pleasure of teaching and coaching at Crestline for 16 years. And on behalf of the teachers and coaches at Crestline, thank you, Travis, for all that you did in the classroom, on the court, and on the field. You made our school a better place. Okay. Okay, we have Jim Winston as a presenter for Brady.
Oh, good, I gotta follow that one. Very nice. I know that my wife's sitting there telling me to talk louder. This is on, right? Okay. Brandywickerson is a guy that I've known for a while. He He's been involved in wrestling for about 40 years now, and I wanted to take you through just a little bit of that time, make a couple comments about his career and what he's done. The earliest discussion that I can recall having with him, he was 4 years old. We'd just been through a first Biddy tournament. His record was 0-6. And I said, Brady, you're getting better at the 8th match. Sad face. When am I going to start winning? Just keep getting better and the wins will come. Age divisions at that time were, in many cases, 5 and under. So as a 4-year-old, you're probably wrestling almost all 5-year-olds. Or we'll like to say it that way. Gradually, at 5 years old, the wins did become reality. And he did get to go on and start his career in wrestling, which was going to last a long time. Fast forward to high school. Brady was a good student, National Honor Society. 4 times he was in the league finals for a guy in high school. His senior year, as league champion, defeating Josh Gideon of Bellevue, who was the state champion the next year. Twice he was on Ohio's Greco-Roman team, 1993 and 94, and got to travel to Fargo, North Dakota to participate. 2 times he was Guyon's team captain, 2 times Mansfield area all-star team, 2 times he made All-Ohio in 1994 and 95 at 160 pounds. Guyon's had a pretty good go in wrestling for the last 52 years. We've only had 4 wrestlers accomplish that 2-time All-Ohio mark. After high school, Brady decided to attend the Naval Academy Prep School when he tried to go to the Naval Academy. While there, he suffered a torn ACL at wrestling practice. He decided to return home, repair and rehab his injury, and then decided to head the next year to Ashland University. At Ashland University, he was a 4-year starter, and unless my memory serves me wrong, was never out of the starting lineup for 4 years. 3 times he earned the 110% Eagle Award. That's the hardest working guy on the entire team. 2 times he was team captain, 3 times a national qualifier, 3 times academic All-American, and in 2000, he finally became Performance All-American in South Dakota. And that, of course, is the highlight of his wrestling career. When most wrestlers are finished with high school, they're done. When they're finished with college, they're certainly done. But Brady, for the last 21 years, has decided to stick with the sport of wrestling. It's a time-consuming job. You know, you go to a football game, it'll last 2 or 3 hours. You go to a basketball game, about the same thing. I'm sure there are others that are more time-consuming than that. But a tournament, oftentimes, is a 10-hour Saturday after your work week. Some are 2 days and 20 hours. A state tournament is 3 days and 30 hours of work beyond your normal. It's very, very demanding. Brady has officiated the state tournament in Ohio since 2008. That is something that's voted on by high school head coaches and the peers in his wrestling community. In my opinion, Brady is arguably the best wrestling referee ever to come out of Crawford County. I say that kind of not jokingly, but I've been around wrestling in Crawford County since 1972, and I would, just like I said, I would arguably call him the best referee ever in this county. Wrestling officials also have someone who becomes the rules interpreter. The rules interpreter goes to meetings and educates the rest of the referees on changes in rules and so on and so forth. Brady has done this since 2008, so this will be his 13th or 14th year educating the fellow officials on all the updates. In his spare time, Brady also volunteered as youth wrestling coach while his son Sam was growing up. What qualities have made Brady the high-level performer that he is? First of all, he has superior work ethic and a high level of self-discipline. He was always willing to work harder, longer, and more often than others. Weight training, conditioning, drilling, competing. I don't know how to say this. We're going to bring in a skin caliper and check everybody's body fat right now. Not really. Okay? But I just wanted to point out that when Brady finished his senior year of college, he was in a human physiology class. They checked his body fat. It was 4.5% after he just went through the national tournament. An average college athlete, male, carries 7 to 13%. It takes a phenomenal amount of self-discipline, hard work, and dedication to just get your body down to that point. And then you got to go wrestle. And it's pretty outstanding. Learning from anyone and everyone is always something Brady could do. Being his high school coach, I saw him come in from the middle school, and I asked him one day, I said, "Where'd you learn to do that?" He said, "I saw some guys doing it in a wrestling match." That's a rare commodity in any athlete, being able to watch other people perform and steal a technique or a skill from them. As a referee, me being a coach, I had to sometimes go to the table and ask my son about a call. In football, you might get a holding call or offsides. In wrestling, you might get a 2-point takedown followed by a 3-point reversal with a reversal again, and then penalty points, and you look over at the table and they don't have the score right. Who fixes that? So I go to the table and I walk over and there he is, okay? I think this happened. He goes, "Wait a minute." I see his eyes go up a little bit. He's running an instant replay of what happened in that match, step by step by step. It's a skill that only the very best of referees have. When he competed, he always prepared mentally and physically on game day, on his own, ready to go all the time. I did him a big favor on game day. I just stayed out of his way. Didn't want to interfere. No match was too big, always performing at a 90 to 100% of maximum level. That's a rare commodity in any athlete of any kind. Most of all, somewhere along the line in his life, he developed a great love of wrestling. Brady is probably the greatest wrestling ambassador and enthusiast that I know. And I say that because he's a wrestler. If I say that as a head coach, I say it because it's my son. Brady's a physical therapist in the Galleon area. His wife Sarah's an elementary teacher. His sons Sam, Maddie, Maria, all here. Maria, happy birthday. I'm very proud of this guy. He's accomplished a lot. One bad note here, Sarah, unless I'm mistaken, he's probably going to do this 20 more years. Brady?
Just want to thank the committee and the hard work that they put in. Like we said again, this year's been kind of different, with everything, not just this, but I'll start off with a funny story. About 2 weeks ago, we were talking about tonight and dinner and everything like that, and my daughter, Maddie, says, "Why are you getting inducted into the Hall of Fame?" As only a teenage girl can. So, sorry to embarrass you, Maddie, not really. As my dad said, when I first started wrestling, I wasn't very good. It took a little while to catch on, but definitely along the way developed a love for the sport. And I just want to thank my dad for introducing me to the sport, and I want to thank my mom and my dad for supporting me through all this. It's tough when you're a wrestler's parent. I know, because I am one now, and it's one thing to watch your son run up and down the court. I mean, you see him get a hard foul once in a while, hey, that's my kid, go easy. But it can be tough, and there's a lot of sacrifice there, so I thank you, Mom and Dad, I love you. And as my dad said, he followed me clear out to North Dakota on occasion, South Dakota for nationals in college, and got a chance to do that with my son Sam this summer, so that was pretty special. Don't want to bore you with a lot of long stories here, but basically the only thing that I wanted to be as a wrestler was an All-American. And when I was at Ashland University, I got a chance to get in the starting lineup right away, and I also got a chance as early as my sophomore year to wrestle in the national tournament and have a chance to become an All-American. And it took me 6 tries. And finally I got down to my last try, my senior year. Had to win the match to be an All-American, and I just remember before the match just kind of praying and talking to God and just saying, you know what, no matter what happens, I'm going to be the same person. And well, long story short, I won the match. So that was pretty great. But it's just humbling, to be in the same Hall of Fame as Gates Brown, who played for the Detroit Tigers. And I just want to say I'm proud to make Crawford County my home. It's a great place to live. I mean, where else can you get Baker's Pizza and listen to Davy Jones on Friday night phone board? Thank you.
Okay, Brady, on behalf of the Crawford County Sports Hall of Fame class of 2019, we present to you this plaque for all your accomplishments and representing Crawford County wherever you went. Congratulations.
I would be remiss if I didn't thank my wife, Sarah. She was with me the whole time through my high school and college career, and it's not easy to be a wrestler's girlfriend / wife. You have to put up with cranky guys cutting weight and stuff like that, and just want to thank you, Sarah. I love you. And my 3 kids, Maddie, Maria, and Sam, and also my brother. I think we had a few of those couch wrestling matches that Don was talking about. Thanks.
Great.
Thank you, Brady. Okay, now we'd like to recognize the 1995 Colonel Crawford Eagle softball team. Presenter, Coach Chuck Huggins.
First of all, before I get started, I just want you to know that when I was at home in the evenings, the last couple of nights, I'm practicing my speech and just talking, my dog was laying there, and my dog got up and left. So if you guys feel so inclined, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. Okay, I understand. So the other thing I wanted to say was I got to thinking about it, and I thought it would have been pretty nice to have be the only class to ever have the ceremony in August, because I was thinking Bratwurst Festival, do our ceremony, head up to the festival, enjoy a cold Daddy Pop, and with some of you fellow inductees. But hey, I get it. You guys, our hats are off to you, inductee, the committee that selected us. The nightmares you had to go through we get it. So we are very, very appreciative. And on a little more serious note, but a sincere note, I just want to hats off to Dr. Mike Johnson and everything he meant to, and I'm saying this for everybody here. Best thing I can say is that he did things with absolute class. And to you and Mrs. Johnson, Mike, you guys you guys did it right, because the same class that you and Mike show, your family has that same class. So just hats off to that. I'd also like to congratulate Coach Moyer. We got to know each other very well over the years. We actually talked about hand signals, what I did in third base coaching box and what he did on the sideline, just little stuff like that. But we became good friends, and I just thought it was ironic that it just goes to show that an Eagle and a Royal can actually become good friends. So. But anyway, Coach Moyer, enjoy these years with your kids, because when they're on the sidelines with you, because before you know it, they're going to be 38 and 35 and 30, and you'll say, "Wow, where'd you go?" But keep doing what you're doing. We're proud of you. Next, I'd like to thank my beautiful wife Julie and my family. Somebody said earlier that behind every coach and everything is a good family, and I have the best. They were my rock. That's the best way you can put it. Julie and Chuck, Neil, Natalie, they're the ones that they'd be there during the big wins, but they'd also be there in the tough losses, and they'd, Julie would give me a kick in the butt and say, "Hey, Coach, get out there and figure it out. We know you can." So, my family, I love you dearly. Wanted to also thank, real quickly, I wanted to thank our administration back then. Mr. Jim Hudson was our principal, and Mr. William Farrell was our superintendent. What great support group they were. We've always been blessed with great administrators at Colonel Crawford, same way we are now, we had back then. And also David Burkett was our AD at that time. So again, thank you, and Mr. Hudson, thank you. We also get the blessing of having one of our former bus drivers here. Mrs. Mankey's here tonight, and she drove bus for us a lot during our games, and boy, did she, yeah, amen. And did she ever make good cookies and cupcakes? So we're appreciative of that. I want to thank our coaches. Been very blessed over the years to have some of the very best assistant coaches. The two of them that are here today were with us in our 1995 state championship team. Mr. Dave Euvery. With Dave, you always knew that your team was going to be prepared. You just knew that whatever you had him do, you knew that he was going to give it their best. And we actually stole Dave off the baseball field because he was an excellent baseball coach. And then when his daughter Holly decided she was going to play softball, Dave came our way, and we were appreciative of that. The other gentleman, my right-hand man, Carl Diebler. Best thing I can tell you about Carl is we got to coach together for over 30 years, and that says enough right there. But with Coach Diebler, I've said this before, and I'll go to my grave believing this. Carl could have been the head coach in any softball program in the state of Ohio, and done a fantastic job. But guess what? He chose us. He chose to be an Eagle, and like I said, we got to spend over 30 years together, and for that, I'll always be appreciative. Thanks, partner. In talking about our team, I know that they say that you only remember a few things from each speech. Well, first of all, I want to tell you kids that are here, of the players, your mama's had game. Okay, I'm telling you. You guys may laugh, and you may think, nah, there's no way. Trust me, they had game. Because Dr. Chris and I were talking about it today. To win a state championship, a lot of good things have to happen. But of all the teams that ever play out there, no matter what sport, less than 1% actually get to experience what we experienced together. And that says it right there. They were the best back in the day. So kids, don't second guess them on that, okay? Couple of things I just want you to remember about this team. Not going to go into stats, not going to go into a lot of detail, just they were a fun-loving group, and that's putting it mildly. They loved to have fun, and but along with that, they were some of the fiercest competitors that I've ever been and had the honor of being a part of. When they, you know, if you saw them on the bus before the game, I mean, I thought for a while, wow, I don't know about this, but you know, they just had that ability when they got off the bus and stepped between the lines. I mean, to tell you, they got after it, and it just speaks dividends about them. The other thing I remember about them is they had a tremendous work ethic, and you don't have the success we were able to have without being having that work ethic. And another important quality about them is they were a extremely confident group. They just you know, they just knew that they had put in the work and the time, and there was never a game when we went into any game not knowing that we had not prepared for whatever the other team was going to do. And because of that, that gave us the ability to have that type of confidence. And and the last quality I think that I want to make sure I mention is, I've always believed this, that truly great teams truly care for one another. And this team loved one another. You know, they loved to have fun, but they had each other's backs. They truly loved each other, and they cared for each other. So just you could just tell tonight, like, it's been 26 years since we won the state championship, and we came together tonight like we, you know, and we haven't seen each other for a long time. We came together tonight, and it's just like we never skipped a beat, you know, just visiting with each other and being a part of it. And that says a lot, and that's going to be a special bond that we'll always have together. So with that said, I'm going to be quiet because you guys want to hear from the important ones. 3 of our players have graciously volunteered to speak, and they're looking at me like, graciously, Coach? Come on now. But I don't know what order they decided. I don't know if they're going to draw straws or whoever. I think maybe they're all going to come up together. But we're gonna have, I'm going to say maiden names. We're going to have Jill Hudson, Sarah Diebler, and Nandy Pry. And I think, Nandy, you got a few things from Natalie? Awesome. So with that said, enjoy their memories.
Okay, thanks. So this won't be a surprise to some of you who know the 3 of us. We grew up together. We've been friends really for life. Yes, we went our own separate ways. But tonight when we got here, we were talking about how we were kind of voluntold to speak tonight. And they said, did you prepare something? And I said, oh yeah, mine's on paper. And they're like, seriously? I was gonna wing it. But if any of you know the 3 of us, it kind of makes sense. Memories, life, family. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jill Corwin, formerly Jill Hudson, and a proud member of the 1995 Colonel Crawford State Championship softball team. As I begin, I use the words memories, life, and family. Those are 3 words that signify what we all hold from the years we played softball at Colonel Crawford to all of our lives today. We have all experienced various paths in our lives since leaving Colonel Crawford and spreading our wings on our own, whether it be marriage, divorce, birth, and 2 of us have had triplets. Death, near-death illnesses, life-changing surgeries, happy times, sad times, and heck, we even lived through a pandemic. If you would have told me over 25 years ago that we would have harder times coming our way, I would have laughed, as I'm sure most of us would have thought in that moment as we stood on the softball field in Ashland that that was going to be the biggest feat to overcome. Back in high school, we were all hardworking students and softball players as part of our team. We were living what we thought was our best but hardest years of our lives. Boy, were we wrong. Now, don't get me wrong, winning a state championship and overcoming various obstacles, like the time Deke and Nandy were in the horrible car accident, and we had to play through, I said I wasn't gonna do this, and win at Finley, while herself hobbled up on crutches, beat up and battered and bruised from the car accident. It was definitely trying, but we pulled together and prevailed. And we move forward with a win. Who would have thought that every time I drive to Findlay for my own daughter now, Sydney, who is at the University of Findlay, that memory would surface for me. And do we all remember Julie Jones? Oh yes. Picking up the hitting techniques where she bit her shirt and yelled yes or grunted loudly while telling herself I believe, while she stood at the plate and smacked the ball each time. And who would have thought it helped her? And I truly get it now. I've even used that when coaching my kids' travel and rec ball teams myself. Let me tell you, I would have never thought. And Ashland, good old Ashland, do we remember watching the opposing teams graduate right on the field in front of us? Because we played a state softball game that day and their graduation was also scheduled for that day. Emotionally now, I think back on it and having a high school softball player that too had to give things up. But not for a state softball tournament and the joy that brought all of us here, but a crazy pandemic. I now better understand what a big deal that really was for those girls on our opposing teams to go through that. The support that we had and wonderful following from Crawford County and the Colonel Crawford fans, young and old. Even my own niece, Kendra Hudson, who was a baby the year that we won the state, she had just been born and since herself, many years later, got to experience the same joy we did to play in a state championship game with Colonel Crawford. Yes, that makes me old. And since she's now helping with the team here at Colonel Crawford herself. The support we had in the past and the support we still have to this day by placing this championship team in the Crawford County Hall of Fame is beyond words, not just for me, but I think all of us here today. As we look around the room, I would like to thank all of my teammates. Thank you for helping mold me as a person and each of us in preparation for life in the good and bad times. It has taught us so much. Thank you to Coach Huggins, and I'm not gonna look at you, and our coaching staff for leading us into a state championship and helping mold us to believe we can achieve whatever we set our minds to and work hard for. After coaching my own travel softball team, I now know how hard it really was to deal with 14 to 16 teenage girls at one time and the opinions, attitudes, and drama some of them have. Holy cow. So thank you for putting up with us all of those years. Thank you to our families and friends for the love and support back then and even now over 25 years later. And now I'm honored to speak on behalf of the championship team from Colonel Crawford Softball. Thank you to the Crawford County Sports Hall of Fame for the following and the support then and even now for bringing us back together again to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. We can't thank you enough. We will always be remembered as being part of the state softball team from Colonel Crawford. And as Coach Huggins would say, if you believe, you can achieve.
Okay, I'm the wing it one. But actually, I think Coach Huggins may have hacked into my speech because pretty much everything he said, I'm gonna say. But there's a couple of things about this team that really made a difference that no other team I ever was on had this, and it was the work ethic. I remember times after practice, my dad was one of the coaches, and Coach Huggins would have to kick us out of the practice. We're like, no, we are not hitting you another ball. We are not pitching you another pitch. We are not throwing another pop-up. So that just shows you how much we wanted it that year. Nothing was going to stop us. Also, like Coach Huggins said, we were like family. Every one of us had each other's backs. We all loved each other. It was something special, something very special for us. And also, looking back, I realize now how hard it really was to win state. How much everything has to go together, how every play has to work perfectly, how every day has to be perfect. And we did it, and that was pretty incredible. And also, a couple of memories that we were talking, and one I had forgotten, but we had the end of the year party at Grandma Grandma Schrader's pond. And Ken Hagan had a plane, and somebody decided to TP the party from the plane. So, pretty unique. And then also, Grandma Mankey, your chocolate Coho cupcakes. Everyone talks about those. We all loved those. There were just so many special memories that we all had together. And we'll always love each other and have that special place in our hearts. So proud to be able to say that we were state champions one year. And thank you for inducting us in the Hall of Fame. Now I'm going to give it to Andy.
I'm not a huge fan of talking in front of groups of people, so I'm gonna look at this. First of all, when I look around this room, I see so many familiar faces just from Crawford County, and the team especially. It's really great to see all of you and the beautiful families and careers that you've made for yourselves. Congratulations on that. It's amazing how much time has passed, but all the things that all of us collectively have accomplished, and that goes for all the inductees as well. Your families are beautiful. My family couldn't be here tonight, but I love them, so I wanted to mention them. My husband, Dee Coker, a graduate of Crestline High School, head football coach now at St. Charles. He couldn't be here today. And then I have two daughters, Stella and Lily, who I love, who are have my heart. Stella's a junior in high school, and Lily's a freshman in high school. So, I'm really grateful for them and how they're a part of my lives every day. I would think this is a great time to come together and reflect. It's nice to be together tonight and just share some wonderful memories that we got to before we even started dinner, just getting to visit and catch up a little bit, as many of us haven't seen each other in so many years. But when I think back about all the memories that we have, it's the people. I think about all the people that have been a part of our experience at Colonel Crawford High School. First, I want to think about the parents and the grandparents, all the people that supported us for our seasons, just all those years at Crawford. You were always there for us, always cheering us on. If you were a mom or dad or grandparent of a player, you were a mom, dad, or parent of the team. And it was always that way. If somebody needed something and they didn't see their mom or dad, they could come to anyone, and you were always there for us. And we're just so grateful that you made us feel so special, like we were, playing for the WNBA or something, I don't know. You just made us, you were our fan club, and we appreciate that. And it's special the way, parents establish that work ethic and that drive. I know my parents gave me more than what they ever had, and all of our parents did that for us, or grandparents, or whoever it was that's a part of our lives that, is part of our upbringing. So we're so grateful for that. And hopefully we have the opportunity to do that for our own children. Coaches, Coach Dave, Euvery, just appreciate you so much. Long after your kids were out of sports or being at Crawford, you were there with us. You showed up every day. You volunteered your time and, kept us organized, and we knew we could count on you. And we're just very grateful that you took that time out to be there for us and help us. and that was a big part of our puzzle that made us great. Coach Carl, I spent so many years of my life with your family. I was so, I just felt like one of yours, Barb and Carl. Thank you so much for the time and energy you invested in all of us. So many of us girls have played under Carl for different teams, many years of our lives beyond high school, and just really grateful for that time and energy. You always knew what to say and when to say it. You knew how to get us fired up, but you also knew how to be patient and coach us individually when we knew we needed to hear something. You're an amazing coach. You just always had a positive attitude, and you celebrate us with us over the little things. So thank you so much for being such a big part of our lives. You have touched a lot of lives in your lifetime. As I said, I had to mention my dad. He was a big part of sports there, and my dad, when I was in high school, worked from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Timken every day, and then he would get off work and come to practice or come to games, and he just had a great work ethic, and he spent so many hours of his life hitting me fly balls or swinging the ball on the rope, if you guys remember that, or catch me when I would pitch. And after, he'd chase a few, but after I threw 4 or 5 over the backstop, he'd just drop his glove and point. He tried to be patient. But I'm sure all of us, can attest to our parents, instilling a great work ethic in us and helping us have that drive to succeed. So I wanted to mention him. Coach Huggins. Oh, where are you, Coach? There you are. You had the patience of Job. Coach just always believed in us, and it allowed us to thrive. Coach believed in me when I didn't always have 100% confidence in myself. And you were just so patient. That nervous smile that I have, you were one of the coaches that always looked past that. And you recognized our individual abilities and just brought that together as a team. The way you ran practices were incredible, just so well thought out and planned to make the most of our time together. And just a quick story, I remember when, in particular, Coach always had his bunt sign. But before I got up to bat, before one of our playoff games or tournament games, Coach came up to me. I was leadoff batter, and he said, "Nandy, you are going to lay down that bunt, and you are going to get on first base." And there's no doubt in my mind that that's going to happen. And he believed it so much, and I believed it too. And that was the kind of belief he instilled in each one of us. And that just led us to greatness, because I think that's so important, is to have that, have that person that really believes in you. So we thank you so much for all the time that you've put into Colonel Crawford. You've touched thousands of lives as a teacher and as a coach at Colonel Crawford, and even outside of that. And I can't imagine how many kids have grown up having the experience of being with you. But that is the greatest reward, is the time and the energy and the lives that you've touched. So thank you so much, Coach. This team, I'm very thankful to be a part of this great team. It's really special to have a little tiny bit of a legacy that's remembered. And it's such an honor to be in this Hall of Fame with these great names of people. I mean, it's just amazing when I look through that program at the names in that program. It's incredible that we were selected to be a part of this. So thank you to the committee. And it's just a great testament to Crawford County, Ohio. Such a great community, such a special and unique place, and a very happy place to come home to. Thank you. Very quick. My sister, Natalie, could not be here tonight. She lives in Athens, Georgia, and her print is very small, so I'm going to pull these out. But Natalie's in Athens, Georgia. She's married to Matt Kearns. She has 2 boys, Nathan and Ty. Nathan is a sophomore in high school, and Tyson's an 8th grader. And she really wanted to be here, but with the reschedules, just wasn't able to make it happen here in November. So she says, my apologies for not being able to make it to this honorable event. I have such fond memories of this team. Those memories start in my freshman year when I had no idea what I was doing and how our future at Colonel Crawford would make such an impact. I had the pleasure of having some very influential and talented teammates and coaches show me the ropes. Colonel Crawford has expectations, and we were different than other schools and programs. We worked harder, played harder, and had each other's backs. We held ourselves to a different standard. I attribute this standard to our coaching staff. They worked and loved us beyond measure for us to achieve what we achieved. I remember bundling up after school to practice on those cold spring afternoons, sometimes in the cold rain, sizing up our opponents at the beginning of the week, and packing uniforms, cleats, gloves, socks, and hand warmers for every important game along the journey that led us to the state championship game. I have fond memories of our important snacks before the game and feelings of such a sense of pride with every win throughout the season. In case you were wondering, those important bus and pregame snacks consisted of peanut butter and graham crackers. This game, at this time in my life, taught me acceptance, perseverance, true friendship, respect for authority, time management, respect for teammates, and most of all, what it feels like to be a champion. I thank our coaches for instilling in all of us the drive and grit it took to achieve what we did as a team and to carry those qualities on as successful young women. Coach Huggins, Coach Siebler, Coach Gervais, and Coach Pry, Dad, were amazing influences in our lives, and I can only hope my children have the same kind of mentor and influence in their lives. Thank you, coaches. Thank you, unwavering and supportive parents, and thank you, teammates, for an unforgettable experience. We will forever be ingrained in the high school's culture. We have so much to be proud of. Love you, ladies, and softball family. Soar high, Eagles.
I think one last note, and all of the girls can attest to this, whether it be Mr. Hudson, which was my father, administrator, Mr. Burkett, Mr. Sheldon, whoever was part of it, from the, I'm sure, future softball teams, thank you for cutting down the oak tree. And we all know exactly what oak tree it was. It was clear down by the football field, and any time that we made an error, we had to run all the way around the oak tree. And Julie would make it almost to the oak tree, and she would turn around and come back, and Coach would be watching, and we'd all have to do it again. so that was just a note.
Thank you, Jill, Sarah, Nandy, and Natalie. Just real quickly, we'll wrap things up here. Again, thank you, selection committee. Our hats are off to you because what you've gone through to finally be able to induct this class. Congratulations to the fellow inductees. And my last words are to my team and fellow coaches. I am most happy for all of you because for 26 years now, we've gotten to be state champions together. And now and forevermore, we will get to enjoy being both state champions and Hall of Famers together. So forever and ever and ever, we get to enjoy that experience. And I can't say enough for how happy I am for this team. And in the words of Julie Jones, okay, we just want to walk away from here and let you guys know how much we appreciate this honor. And the best way we can do that is to just remember this. Yes! Thank you. God bless.
Now, Coach Huggins, on behalf of the Crawford County Sports Hall of Fame, for the class of 2019, we do present this plaque.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Much appreciated.
And could we have the rest of the teammates please come up at this time, just come around here and line up in front of that window?
We need a picture. Is that what you're doing?
No,
Each
we're
person?
still, you got somebody take a picture?
Yeah, we want some, we have someone to take,
Okay.
put the 5 or 6 together that are,
Okay.
do that quickly.
Do you want me to go ahead and say names?
If you stand over here.
Okay.
Can you present it to them?
Yeah, you vote, whatever you want me to do, however you want to do it.
Okay, why don't you do this? Tell me the names.
Okay?
Okay?
I'm gonna say maiden names.
Yes, please.
Nandy Pry.
Okay, these are gonna be maiden names, and I do understand that. Okay, Mandy Pry, come on up. Congratulations, state
Thanks,
softball.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Okay.
Congratulations, state softball champion.
Sarah Diebler.
We can remember all the names, all the numbers.
To Sarah Diebler, state softball champion. Congratulations.
Jill Hudson. Jill Hudson.
Jill. Okay, this is Jill Hudson. Congratulations. State softball champion.
Heather Newman.
Heather. Heather Newman, come on over here. Congratulations, state softball champion.
Marie Hagan.
What's the first name?
Marie.
Marie?
Yes.
Okay, Marie Hagan.
Awesome.
Congratulations, state softball champion.
Your daughters know you have game? They better.
Better listen to you.
Tiffany Miller.
Tiffany? Okay, Tiffany Miller, state softball champion. Congratulations.
Elizabeth Baldy. Elizabeth Baldy.
Elizabeth? Hold on here. Congratulations, state softball champion.
Thank you, dear. Julie Jones.
Julie?
And I'm still not running to that oak tree.
It's down now.
Julie Jones, congratulations, state softball champion.
I have one thing to say. I'm still not running to that oak tree, by the way. But I backed out of my speech because I got too nervous. But I only have a few things to say. I was number 16, and here's the blessings. My room number at school, I'm a school teacher, and it's 216.
Chanda Fairchild.
Chanda?
Yep.
Hold on here. Okay, to Chanda, state softball champion. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thanks.
Welcome, dear. Yep. Natalie Pry. Well, that's Nandy, but Natalie's, yeah.
Okay, this is for Natalie.
Thank you. My name's Nandy. I'm Natalie's sister. Nandy with an N.
Accepting for Natalie is Nandy. State softball champion, all the way in Georgia.
Thank you. All right.
No, you're good. Yes, sir.
This is,
You know what, I got my 2 coaches, there's 2 extras here.
that's fine. And this here is tonight, and also what's on the.
Okay.
Okay.
Carl Diebler.
Carl Diebler. What's another one?
Dave Euvery, but we'll have, maybe Carl will take Dave's over to him. Maybe have Carl bring Dave's over to him. Yeah. Carl Bieber, let me step out of your way.
That's what we just said right there.
Okay?
One of them.
Yep, sure do.
Name again, Carl Diebler, coach. State softball champion.
Hall of Famer. Dave Euvery.
Dave
Euvery.
Dave Euvery.
That's okay. If you want to take Dave. Okay, thank you. I'll take a Dave.
Okay.
Yep, so. Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations to the coaches and all the girls. Good job, well done. And to all the inductees, thank you so very much for giving of your time and effort and hard work to bring this prestige to Crawford County. Davey?